This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Hart Street Mobile erupts in protest of fatal shooting. Residents of Hart Street in Montego Bay have staged a protest on Saturday morning, demonstrating the fatal shooting of a man in the community last night. Reports are that on Friday night, a man was fatally shot during an argument involving an off-duty police officer at a party in a bar located in the community. The deceased man has since been identified as Kadmar Beadle, a football player from the community. A police source have confirmed that a police officer was involved in an altercation with a civilian, during which shots were fired and a man seriously injured. The man later died at hospital. There are also reports that the officer was stabbed during the altercation, but that has not been confirmed. On Saturday morning, residents took to the streets where they blocked the intersections of Barracks Road and Carinaldi Avenue that connect to Hart Street. They used a variety of items to include old appliances to block the roads and also lit fires as they demanded justice for the slain man. Security personnel have since been dispatched to the scene. Firefighters were also called in to douse the flames. During attempts to clear the roads, reports are that the security and the fire personnel had to take evasive action as stones and other items were thrown at them. Elderly man gunned down a day after cousin. Maurice Parkinson has always disliked the Fridays that fall on the 13th of the month, and he had good reason, as that's the day he lost his left arm in a fight. It was chopped off sometime in the 1980s. Yesterday, Friday the 13th, in a cruel twist of fate, the 86-year-old farmer from Brighton in Little London was gunned down at his house. He was killed a day after his cousin Kenroy Parkinson was murdered by gunmen as he slept at his house in the retirement area of their community. The police, who believe the two murders are connected, say they have not yet identified a clear motive, but says they are following strong leads. It appears the elderly man was killed as he filled the buckets with feed for his goats. Residents heard what sounded like gunshots and called the police, who arrived to find his body. "Him never want go out on the 13th, Friday the 13th. It's not a good day for him," said a tearful Eugene Lewis, whom Parkinson raised as his son. It's sad, man," he said. He struggled to understand who could have seen a one-armed 86-year-old man as a threat. "You really kill one man that age? What kind of heart you have?" he asked the unknown assailant. He had shared a few laughs with his father the night before, he recalled, his face showing a flicker of a smile before grief once again took over. Stephen Parkinson, another of the deceased man's son, told the news they were both at their house when the unthinkable happened. "I was here and I heard about 3 shots. I went to the bushes. By the time I got back around the entrance to the yard, the cops were there," he said. He is visiting from the United Kingdom. By early afternoon, he was packing up his belongings to move out of the community. "My father gets along with everyone. This is a pain," he said, seemingly still in shock. A man who said he and the elder Parkinson had been friends said the deceased would never hurt anyone. The man, who asked not to be identified by name, said when he saw his friend's body, he assumed he had died from a heart attack, as he had been ailing for some time. He remembered Parkinson as kind and hardworking. Manchester High pauses face-to-face teaching due to COVID. Face-to-face classes at Manchester High School have been put on pause until further notice due to COVID-19. Teaching is now fully online. In a notice to parents on Tuesday, the school indicated that the institution has seen increased cases of students and staff reporting flu-like symptoms. As a precautionary measure, classes were moved to online starting Wednesday, May 11. Parents and guardians are being encouraged to keep their children or wards at home and seek medical attention if flu-like symptoms are observed. At the same time, they were urged to ensure that their children participate fully in online learning in light of the fact that external and end-of-year exams are scheduled to begin shortly. 19-year-old St. Catherine man facing murder and gun-related charges. Detectives assigned to the Spanish Town Criminal Investigations Branch arrested and charged a man in connection with the murder of 52-year-old Andrea Mitchell Young of Mansfield Avenue, Homestead in St. Catherine, and the injuring of 2 men at their home on Monday, April 11. Charged is 19-year-old Eric Gordon of Stribor Avenue, Homestead in St. Catherine. He has been charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, and 2 counts of wounding with intent. Reports are that about 3 a.m., Gordon and 2 other men, all armed with firearms, went to the home of the victims, kicked open the front door of their house, and opened gunfire, hitting all 3 people. The men then made their escape in the area. The victims were assisted to hospital by residents, where Young was pronounced dead and others treated and released. On Monday, May 9, 2022, Gordon was accosted by the police and placed into custody. He was later identified by an eyewitness and charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Man charged after allegedly chopping bar owner in Hanover. 26-year-old Rashawn Lewis of Cops District in Hanover has been charged with wounding with intent following an incident in the district on Friday, May 6. Reports from the Ramble police are that about 6 a.m., Lewis was at a bar when he and the owner of the bar had a dispute. During the dispute, Lewis left and returned with a machete, which he allegedly used to chop the bar owner several times. The cops were summoned and the injured man was taken to the hospital, where he was admitted. On Friday, May 13, Lewis was arrested and charged. Security guard charged with murder. Kirk Gardner, 41, a security guard of Maple Leaf Avenue in Kingston 11, has been slapped with several charges, including murder, after he reportedly fatally shot another security guard on Ashoka Road in Kingston 11 on May 29, 2020. The charges were laid against the Gardner on Friday, May 13, after he eluded the police for 2 years. Dead is Eswick Lawson, otherwise called Tata, 59-year-old of a White Lane address also in Kingston 11. Reports are that about 5:05 p.m., Lawson was at a restaurant on Ashoka Road when Gardner and another accomplice drove up. Gardner and his accomplice exited the motor vehicle and opened gunfire at Lawson, who received multiple gunshot wounds to the upper body. Both men then escaped in the motor car. Lawson was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital by the police, where he died. Gardner was yesterday charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, 3 counts of illegal possession of firearm, and 4 counts of illegal possession of ammunition. $1.5 million bail former Bay businessman on drug charges. St. James businessman Oral Johnson, who was charged following the seizure of approximately 24 pounds of cocaine in Coral Gardens, Montego Bay, was granted bail in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. Johnson, 43, from Garden District, Westmoreland, was granted $1.5 million bail with up to 2 sureties. Conditions to his bail are that he is to report to the White House Police Station on Fridays and Saturdays between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. He is also to surrender his travel documents. A stop order has also been placed at all ports. The matter is to return to court on July 7, 2022. Johnson was charged on May 3 with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, taking steps to export cocaine, and trafficking cocaine. Circumstances are that on Tuesday, April 26, a motor car the accused was driving was intercepted by the police in the Coral Gardens area of St. James. During a search of the vehicle, the cocaine, with an estimated street value of US $550,000 or 82.5 million Jamaican dollars, was found and seized. Johnson was then arrested on reasonable suspicion for breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. The subsequent investigation resulted in him being formally charged. 2 persons killed at a bar in Black River. 5 persons were shot, 2 fatally by gunmen, in the community of Spring Park in Black River, St. Elizabeth, Friday night. It is reported that about 10:40, patrons were at a shop when men armed with guns walked up and opened fire, hitting 5 of them. The men escaped on foot in the area. The operator of the bar, 38-year-old Marlon Gager, died at the scene, while 34-year-old bartender Samantha Johnson died in hospital. Superintendent Dwight Daly, commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police, told the news that an intra-gang conflict in Spring Park has now resulted in 9 persons being shot, 5 fatally.
Since the first killing, we stepped up our police presence in the community. Last night, the police were in the community and they even heard the gunshots. By the time they got to the location, the persons were already shot and injured, and it was the police who rushed the injured to the hospital. We are not going to stop until we dismantle this criminal group. I want to reassure the residents that we will be here on a sustained basis. We are asking them to cooperate with us, give us the information so that we can root them out. St. Elizabeth is not used to this type of violence, and we have to nip it in the bud.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.